before he was famous, before the smiles, before the movies. Jackie Chan was a child with no home. At 6 years old, his parents left him behind. No hugs, no goodbye. For 10 years, he cried in silence, and no one came. This is not the story you know. This is the real beginning of Jackie Chan. Welcome to a story that will completely change how you understand success. This is not just another motivational video. This is a real human life. Today you are not watching fiction. You are stepping into the hidden past of one of the most famous men on earth. A man who made billions of people smile. A man who destroyed his body again and again for our entertainment. A man who became a legend. While carrying pain no one saw. His name is Jackie Chan. But this is not the Jackie Chan from the posters, red carpets, or movie screens. This is the forgotten child, the boy without protection, the kid who learned pain before joy, before the fame, before the applause, before the laughter. There was survival. Jackie Chan was born on April 7, 1954, in Hong Kong. His real name was Jan Kong Sang, which means born in Hong Kong. But his birth was not a celebration. It was a struggle. His parents, Charles Chan and Li Chan, were refugees who had escaped violence and chaos in mainland China. They arrived with fear in their hearts and nothing in their hands. No money, no stability, no future plan. His father worked long hours as a cook. His mother cleaned houses to survive. They were exhausted, they were broken, and they were not ready to raise a child. So when Jackie was still very young, they made a painful decision. They sent him away to be cared for by others, just to stay alive themselves. Jackie didn't understand love. He understood absence. Even as a small boy, he learned one brutal lesson. No one is coming to save me. When Jackie was 6 years old, his life was split in half. His parents were offered work overseas, this time in Australia. It was their chance to escape poverty. But they could not take Jackie with them. Instead of a goodbye full of hugs, they made a choice that would haunt him forever. They left him behind. Jackie was enrolled in the China Drama Academy, a boarding school for Chinese opera training. But school is not the right word. It was closer to a training camp, a place where childhood did not exist. The academy was run by a strict and feared man named Master Yu Jim Yuan, and from that moment on, Jackie belonged to him. At just 6 years old, Jackie entered a world ruled by fear, routine, and punishment. The children woke up before the sun. No warm meals, no gentle voices, no comfort, only commands. From morning until night, they trained without mercy. Their bodies were stretched beyond limits. Their voices were drilled until they broke. Their reflexes were tested again and again. Mistakes were not corrected. They were punished. Crying was forbidden. Weakness was unacceptable. If a child fell, he was forced to stand up. If he failed, he was hit. If he resisted, the punishment doubled. There were no days off, no holidays, no parents waiting at home. They slept on hard wooden floors. They shared dirty bathrooms. They ate whatever they were given. Master Yu believed pain created strength. He forced the boys to hold handstands until their arms shook. He stretched their legs into painful splits and tied them there. He struck them with sticks for forgetting lines or missing movements. And this wasn't once. This wasn't sometimes. This was every single day. This was how Jackie Chan's story began. Not with fame, not with success, but with survival. For nearly 10 years, Jackie lived that life. Years later, in an interview, he quietly admitted, "I cried almost every day, but no one listened." He wasn't crying because of the pain in his body. He was crying because of the emptiness. All he wanted was one thing, to see his parents walk through the door, but they never did. That is the side of Jackie Chan's story most people never hear. Behind every joke, every smile, every perfectly timed fall, there was a child who felt forgotten, unwanted, and alone. Inside the academy, Jackie wasn't completely by himself. He met other boys who shared the same fate. Together they became a group known as the Seven Little Fortunes. They weren't friends in the normal sense. They were survivors. The Seven Little Fortunes were the academy's elite performers, the best in acrobatics, the sharpest in martial arts, the most disciplined on stage. They traveled across Hong Kong, performing in theaters and small venues. Their shows brought in money, but none of it belonged to them. Among the group, one boy stood out, Jackie. Even at a young age, his abilities were undeniable. His movements were faster, his timing was sharper, his control was unmatched. He could flip through the air, leap through narrow hoops, fight, sing, fall, and recover, all in a single routine. The group naturally followed him. Jackie became their leader, but he wasn't performing out of passion. He wasn't chasing applause. He was performing because survival demanded it. And deep inside, a small part of his heart still believed something impossible. That one day, his parents would come back for him. They never did. By the time Jackie turned 10, his world was painfully small. No parents, no toys, no holidays, no birthday celebrations, no friends outside the academy, no soft bed, no arms to hold him at night, no one to say, "I'm proud of you." All he truly owned was his suffering, and one fragile dream. If I endure this, maybe one day the world will notice me. From the age of 6 to 17, Jackie remained trapped inside that system. Year after year, training without mercy. But something unexpected happened. He didn't collapse. The pressure didn't destroy him. It shaped him. He learned how to silence pain, how to smile while bleeding inside, how to repeat the same move 1,000 times until it became perfect. He learned obedience, leadership, endurance, and humility, because no matter how good he became, praise never came. The master never said, "Well done." This was the Jackie Chan the public never saw. A child raised like a soldier, a performer trained in silence, a warrior growing up alone. He never chose this path, but it became the foundation of his future. When Jackie finally left the China Drama Academy at 17, reality hit him hard. He had no diploma, no higher education, no savings, no family waiting for him, over a decade of brutal training, and nothing to show on paper. And once he stepped outside those walls, the world didn't care. There were no job offers, no welcoming arms, no applause, only a massive city filled with young men just like him, all desperate, all replaceable. Jackie had one realistic option. He became a stuntman, not the protected kind seen in Western films. In Hong Kong, stunt performers were disposable. Safety rules were optional. Injuries were ignored. Pain was normal. If you were hurt, you were replaced the next day. But Jackie needed food. He needed a future. So he accepted everything. He started as a background extra in cheap kung fu movies. Not the hero, not the villain, just a face in the crowd. Sometimes a nameless bandit, sometimes a guard, sometimes just fighter number 4. No lines, no credit, no protection, only fast instructions. Jump from there, get hit, fall hard, don't complain. If I do this better than anyone else, Jackie thought, maybe one day they will remember my name. In the early 1970s, Jackie received a small job on a movie set. The film was called Enter the Dragon. This movie was special. It was the first big martial arts film made for Hollywood, and the main star was Bruce Lee. At that time, Bruce Lee was already famous all over the world, strong, serious, untouchable. Every stuntman dreamed of working with him, even for one short moment. Jackie was given a tiny role. In one scene, he had to run toward Bruce Lee and get hit. Hard. That was the whole job. One hit, one fall, 1 second on screen. Jackie ran forward. Bruce Lee struck him with a stick. The hit was real. Jackie fell so hard that his head spun. For a moment, he didn't know where he was. Then something unexpected happened. Bruce Lee stopped the filming. He walked over to Jackie. He helped him stand up. Bruce gently touched Jackie's head and asked, "Are you okay?" It was a very small moment. But for Jackie, it meant everything. No one important had ever asked him that before. Jackie pretended to be hurt longer than needed, just to stay near Bruce Lee for a few more seconds. That moment planted a new thought in his mind. If Bruce Lee can reach the world, maybe I can too. But Jackie also understood something very important. He could never become Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was calm, powerful, perfect. Jackie was different. He slipped. He fell. He looked funny. He made mistakes. So Jackie made a decision. I will not copy Bruce Lee, he told himself. I will create something new. He decided to be the fighter who falls, the fighter who gets hurt, the fighter who makes people laugh, a hero who bleeds, a hero who fails, but a hero who always stands up again. Even after working on Enter the Dragon, Jackie's life did not change fast. For years, he stayed invisible. He was still the man in the background, the one who gets kicked, the one who falls and disappears. Producers laughed at him. Directors ignored him. Some told him directly, "Your face is not right. You look too funny. You don't sound like a hero." Most people would have quit. Jackie didn't. He worked up to 18 hours a day. Sometimes he slept on studio floors. Sometimes he ate only cheap noodles. Sometimes he was not paid at all. But every single day, he trained. He watched other actors carefully. He practiced facial expressions in mirrors. He studied comedy. He trained how to fall safely, but make it look painful. He repeated the same stunt again and again, hundreds of times, thousands of times, because Jackie had a quiet goal. One day, he thought, I will make a new kind of hero. A hero who makes you laugh. A hero who gets hurt. A hero who never gives up. In 1978, Jackie was offered a role in a small film. Its name was Snake in the Eagle's Shadow. It was not a big movie. It had little money. But something was different. For the first time, Jackie was allowed to mix kung fu and comedy. He played a weak and silly young man, a boy who learns kung fu in a strange way, with jokes, with surprise, with fast, funny movement. The audience loved it. They laughed, then watched him fight, then watched him fall, then watched him win. They had never seen this before. Jackie was not perfect like Bruce Lee. He felt real. He looked like a normal person, someone who fails, someone who gets hurt, someone who keeps going. The movie became a success. Soon after, another film came out, Drunken Master, and suddenly people remembered his name, Jackie Chan. He had found his own style, not Bruce Lee's style, not anyone else's style, but his style. Pain, laughter, chaos, real stunts, real effort, real courage. Jackie was not lucky. He had no rich parents, no powerful friends, no shortcuts. He built himself slowly, with falls, with injuries, with failure, with patience, year after year. Now he was ready for the next step. Not just Hong Kong, not just Asia. He wanted the world. But the world was not ready for Jackie Chan yet. By the end of the 1970s, Jackie Chan was no longer unknown. In Hong Kong, he was a star, After many years of pain, rejection, and injuries, people finally knew his face. His movies, Drunken Master and Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, were huge successes. Audiences loved his speed. They loved his humor. They loved the way he fought, fell, and stood up again. Jackie had everything many actors dream of. But for him it was not enough. He didn't want to be famous in one place. He didn't want to stop in Asia. Jackie looked further, to America, to Hollywood, the biggest movie industry in the world. For Jackie, real success meant one thing, being known everywhere. But there was something he didn't understand yet. Hollywood was not ready for Jackie Chan, and the next chapter of his life would be full of pain, shame, and disappointment. In 1980, Jackie received an offer to work in the United States. To him, it felt unreal. An American producer had watched his films and thought, this man could be the next Bruce Lee. Jackie was offered a main role in an English-language movie. The film was called The Big Brawl. It was his first big chance in America. The producers were hopeful. Jackie was excited. Everyone believed this movie would change his life. But once filming started, Jackie felt something was wrong. The American director did not understand him. He wanted Jackie to fight slowly, seriously, with no jokes, like Bruce Lee. But Jackie was not Bruce Lee. Jackie tried to share his ideas, fast action, funny moments, creative stunts. The director said no. Just do it the American way. Jackie felt invisible. No one listened to him. No one trusted his experience. He was not an artist there. He was just an actor following orders. When the movie was released, it failed. American audiences didn't connect with Jackie. Asian audiences didn't like this version of him. Critics said cruel things. This actor wants to be Bruce Lee, but he is not. Jackie felt ashamed. He had left Hong Kong when he was winning, and now, in America, people were laughing at him. Still, he did not stop. He accepted another Hollywood role, this time in a movie called The Cannonball Run. It was a comedy with famous stars like Burt Reynolds and Roger Moore. Jackie's role was small. He played a Japanese driver. There was one problem. Jackie is Chinese, not Japanese. But the producers didn't care. They didn't see the difference. To them, all Asian actors were the same. Jackie didn't argue. He was polite. He wore the costume. He said the lines. But once again, nothing changed. The movie did not help his career. He was not respected as a real actor. He was used as decoration, as something exotic in the background. And there was another problem. Jackie did not speak English well. During interviews, he felt lost. He couldn't explain his thoughts. He couldn't show who he really was. He felt small, confused, invisible. In the end, Jackie returned to Hong Kong, not as a world star, but as a man who had failed on the biggest stage in the world. Most people would stop here. They would say, I'm not good enough. It's not my time. But Jackie Chan was not most people, and this failure was not the end. It was preparation. They don't accept people like me, Jackie thought. But instead of giving up, Jackie chose another path. He went back to Hong Kong. He sat down with his small team, and he said something simple but powerful. If they don't want me, then we will build something they cannot ignore. Jackie decided to stop trying to fit into Hollywood. Instead, he would create films his own way. He mixed many things together: dangerous stunts, real pain, fast action, Hong Kong spirit, strong emotions, and comedy. It was not classic kung fu. It was not American action. It was something new, and this time, Jackie was in control. He became the director. He planned the fights. He designed the stunts. He even sang the songs for his movies. One man, many roles. From 95 to 1995, Jackie made movie after movie, each one more extreme than the last. In Police Story, he slid down a tall pole covered in burning lights. In Project A, he fell from a high clock tower and hit the ground. In Armor of God, he jumped between trees and injured his head. In Rumble in the Bronx, he broke his ankle and kept filming with a sock painted like a shoe. The danger was real. The injuries were real. Jackie never used a stunt double. He never used computer effects. He believed one thing: if I want people to feel something real, then I must do something real. These films became famous across Asia, then Europe, then other parts of the world. Slowly, people in America started to notice. Fans began asking, who is this man? Why does he risk his life? This looks more exciting than Hollywood movies. Hollywood was watching again, but this time, something was different. They didn't want to change Jackie. They wanted Jackie, exactly as he was. By the late 1990s, Jackie was almost 45 years old. His body was full of damage, broken fingers, a broken nose, many times, cracked ribs, lost teeth, injured ankles, a damaged spine. He had performed more than 1,000 stunts, many without permission, many without safety. He had nearly died on set again and again, but he was still smiling, still climbing, still believing. Then, one more chance arrived. An American producer offered him a role in a new movie, a comedy about two police officers. The film was called Rush Hour. Jackie read the script. It was fast. It was funny. His partner would be Chris Tucker, loud, energetic, and completely different from him. The contrast was perfect. Jackie said yes. Almost nobody expected the movie to succeed, but when Rush Hour came out in 1998, everything changed. The movie became a huge hit. People loved Jackie's fighting. They loved his facial expressions. They loved his accent. They loved his timing. They loved his chemistry with Chris Tucker. For the first time, the world accepted him, not as the next Bruce Lee, but as Jackie Chan. After that came more success: Shanghai Noon, Rush Hour 2, The Tuxedo, The Medallion. Later, even voice roles, like Kung Fu Panda. The same man who was once rejected, laughed at, and ignored was now welcomed, respected, celebrated, awarded. For the first time in his life, Jackie was no longer chasing fame, no longer fighting for a chance. He had become something bigger, a global icon. From Hong Kong to Hollywood, Jackie Chan became a name everyone knew. His movies played everywhere, in cinemas, on television, in many countries, in many languages. He had money, awards, millions of fans, respect. Famous directors wanted to work with him. Studios waited for his answer. From the outside, Jackie had everything. But inside, something felt wrong. It was not emptiness. It was heavier. It was guilt. While Jackie was climbing higher and higher, one part of his life stayed far behind: his family. And the first face that came to his mind was his son. Jackie Chan had a son named J.C. Chan. He was born in 1982. At that time, Jackie was 28 years old. His career was rising fast, but he was not ready to be a father. When J.C. was born, Jackie was always working. Long days on film sets, dangerous stunts, flights to other countries, press events. He was almost never home. He missed school meetings. He missed birthdays. He missed normal days. He didn't teach his son how to ride a bike. He didn't sit and talk. He didn't listen. Jackie told himself one thing: if I earn more money, I can give my son a good life. But J.C. did not need money. He needed his father. By the time Jackie understood this, it was already too late. J.C. grew up feeling unseen, unimportant, alone. In later interviews, J.C. said he was mostly raised by his mother, helpers, and teachers. His father was a famous name, but not a present person, and when Jackie did speak to his son, he was not warm. He was strict, hard, emotionally distant. Years later, Jackie wrote in his book, "When I think about my son, I feel I failed. I gave him many things, but I did not give him myself." He also shared a painful truth. Once, during a serious argument, Jackie lost control and hit his son. His wife had to stop him. Later, Jackie said, "I regret that moment every day." Jackie grew up with violence. Pain was how he learned discipline. But he did not understand one thing. His son was not him. JC was not a fighter, not a stuntman, not a warrior. He was just a child who wanted to be loved, but Jackie was blinded by success. JC tried to enter the entertainment world. He studied music. He tried acting. But everywhere he went, people said, "That's Jackie Chan's son. Let's see if he is as good." The pressure was too heavy. JC didn't want to jump from buildings. He didn't want to fight 10 men. He wanted to sing, to create, to be himself. But being the son of a legend means the world never lets you be normal. Jackie later admitted, "I gave my son too much. I tried to fix my absence with gifts, cars, technology, opportunities. But I forgot something important: values. He thought giving things was love. But real love is time, listening, patience, being there." In 2014, everything collapsed. JC was arrested in Beijing for drug possession. The news spread fast, all over the world. He was sentenced to 6 months in prison. People were shocked. How can Jackie Chan's son end up like this? Reporters asked. Jackie did not blame his son. He blamed himself. He released a public message. "I feel deep shame. I feel pain as a father. My son must take responsibility. But I know this is also my failure. I was not there when he needed me." It was the most honest thing Jackie had ever said in public. Behind the strong body, the famous smile, the fearless fighter, was now an aging man full of regret. As Jackie entered his 50s and 60s, he began to slow down. He thought about his childhood, the pain, the discipline. He thought about his career, the fame, the success. But more than anything, he thought about one question: what will I leave behind? And then Jackie made a decision that surprised the world. He said, "I don't want my children to fight for my money. I don't want success to destroy them.